Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're going to go ahead and do the weekly B@B, the open discussion about the occult and magicians and witchcraft and spiritual crimes against humanity. But basically, all you need to know is that it is a continuance on over the last week about something new. And when I see something new, I don't see NU, I do see NEW, but it's not something that we knew. But basically, when we see it, you just can't get a soon or a done. But when I see soon, they actually spell it wrong. They spelled S-U-N. So when I see it actually on a play out, I can't do it done, a D-U-N, but I can see it on a D-U-N-E, like something about an April 12th that came through that makes like this discovery this week about the state hospitals and then the state penitentiaries. And like what I said, we had something out here on a reform school that you couldn't get anything done, and that it was still odd on what happened. But let me tell you, when you actually go through it, you can't see anything done whatsoever. So when I actually go through it, let's go through. Let's go through. So when I see it, you can't be it whatsoever. You can't do it whatsoever. What is that supposed to mean? Here it is. So the Ace of Pentacles means all of a sudden there's like a loss of money. And then when I see the Five of Swords in reverse. And when I actually see the Five of Swords in reverse, you can't do it done. And so basically when it actually comes through, holy cow, you can't see it coming. You cannot see it coming. So what is this, Sun? What is this done? Something about a containment issue. I feel like the way that they're all running around, and it's a really rare first, like I say, I feel it really means something more of an intuitive measure, which means not being able to pick up on it as a psychic or as a magician or anything like that. It actually is really, really hard. Really, really hard. It literally means there's something else going on. So like, a bunch of cards fell out. And it really is the Seven of Wands, the Five of Wands, the World, the Four of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. And it literally means when you have this kind of fan out and this spread, my God, the Ten of Wands means difficult burden. When you see the Four of Pentacles, Lord God, you can't do. When you actually see how the securement is, you go to a completion of the world, and you see the Five of Wands, no. And when you see the Seven of Wands, you got to go through it with the Five of Wands and the Seven of Wands. You have to sit there and watch the riots. You have to go through it. You have to contain it. You have to see it through. You got to look at everything and anything and something and nothing, even as heinous as it comes out or heinous as it's portrayed, because there's something else brewing. So what is brewing? This is the Tarot of Sacred Kingdoms. So what I see that's occulted is something about Max. We don't know what Max is, but it is a point. To the point of Ace of Swords, it's confirmed exactly what you're thinking. All answers are correct on this one. To the Hermit. And the Hermit really is about being alone. And it's an odd spelling, alone. So when you see it and you see the Page of Pentacles, you go, it really was an offering on the table and they did it really well. But then when you see it and you see the Ten of Cups, you can't even get it coming. Get it coming. So when I see it, there's no contentment. There is no contentment. To the Six of Pentacles, Lordy, you can't even do it hard enough. So there is deals, and then there is offerings, and then there's contracts, and then there's everything that we see that we're looking for. But then all of a sudden, when you see this, the Ace of Wands, never. You can't even like get a good start or a head start or anything like that, because it's going to be a whole stop. Bad justice. Really bad justice. That's what they're saying. justice is served, law and order, due process, and it's really not the true due process or law and order that we're looking for. Here it is. Let's do it to the White Sage Tarot. Holy cow. Holy cow. You can't even see. So when I actually see holy cow, I'm looking at everything what it could mean. Here it is. Right here. Again, 5 of Cups. Spelt milk syndrome. Spelt milk syndrome means they go sour so bad. So bad. You can't even see it or go through it whatsoever. When you see the 7 of Swords, Lordy, it really means you got to put a fork in it down to testing your soil to the 7 of Cups, and everyone thinks you're crazy. You're like, no, I got to do this. Watch. Then there it is. It presents well. It presents well and hard and high. And then when you see it, it causes chaos. Really nasty. That has something to do about greed with these riots. What about Disney and witchcraft and the witch trials that we got today out of this? Because when we said there was something about India during the week, it was creepy on how it is. Creepy. This one is very light. Very light. I definitely see opening doors. I definitely see portals. I definitely see dream time. It's rare, especially for psychics and magicians to have dreams. Really rare. We get it out. We understand it. So when I hear telepathy, I actually have to say that was hard. That was really hard. You couldn't even do it. Here we go. When you see this, you're actually looking at the North Star. When it's coming to this week, when you see the mother and father healing, it's a remembrance on how everything is playing out. And then when you see this, it keeps growing and regenerating, and we put an end to it when we're talking about Abu Gracia, and we're talking about all the illegal immigrants and the illegal aliens. You can't even all of a sudden we're there it is. And then when you see remembrance, you won't even believe how fast everyone does. When you see star family, it really means getting together in communities of friends that haven't seen each other in a while, and to have a discussion of, if they had done this, what was going to happen. When you see rooted light, it really is like a light language. It's just very simple. So what is really going on? Something's coming out. So when you have creativity, then you see the light. Got something about diet. Definitely that was on the discussion table, especially with the way, yes, we're talking about RFK, and we're talking about how he presents it into the media about a lot of healthcare changes. And the one was really about children on their food choices, especially if they're on the spectrum, on how it could really be. And it really does look like the star royalty for these kids. But when you see the telepathy and you see these ideas pop in people's heads, are they actually still seeing colors from the 90s? When you see this, you have to say contain, you actually bring out a box, like a jewelry box. And when you see the light technology, you have to go through it. Again, you're looking through hope chests and all of it. Say, no, I have it right here. When I see this energy, a dolphin play, I do remember the 90s a little bit harder on when it was to go out and play until the lights came on. So when you actually see it, it is a common ground for everyone. When we finally realize what was true, I do see a lot of forgiveness where we couldn't even see it coming. And when I see service, holy cow. I see a lot of people working in the community. Like I said, at some point there was like this free will choice that happened between February and March, and it was so significant on this free will choice by individuals that it really escalates and escorts in where people are like, come on, let's go. Yep, bring it in, let's go. You can't even believe how hard it was to get that out. How to get it out. That's what I keep hearing. Oh, Lord, we saw it, we heard it, we felt it. That's all I keep hearing. So let's look at the animal spirit, because we keep looking at this golden egg. We keep looking at the black egg to the cosmic egg. And you'll understand when you see the cards. So when I see tarantula and I see the crow, it definitely is occultic. And for me, it's just the energy I'm feeling. What else do we need to know? Again, the beaver. So when I see the beaver, I have to look at moon cycles. When I see the stingray, I'm literally looking at the way the stingray has the chakras. Alignment. When I see this and I see bat, I'm seeing NITE. When I see phoenix, I actually see a rising to a rising up. There's our riots. When I see raccoon, I have to roll my eyes because somebody got a raccoon out of a pool after it starts coming through. And then you see the vulture and you go, this has got to be a Disney movie, the way it played out. When you see the butterfly, you get the messages. You say you're connecting to your loved ones with the cardinals and the birds and everything else. And then you see the hyena and there's just someone who just picks up on it. And you see the oyster and you're, oh, there it is. There it is. I can't even believe it. When you see cheetah, it comes running and rushing through. You can't even believe it. Lamb, Easter, Lent. I'm watching the Pope's funeral and I'm going, there it is. There it is. There's the Italian mob all in one row. They're going to do a show soon. You're going to find it. Starfish. I actually see oil rigs. There's the cosmic egg. There it is. It's owned. It's owned, this rarity, to the black egg coming out at the same time. To the horse. When I see this horse, it's rare. When I see mare, M-A-R-E, I don't like it. I don't like it. To the unicorn. There's something about these two. So with this, when I see the owl, it is wisdom, will, and wit. Wisdom, will, and wit. There we go. What else do we need to know? This one is a little bit harder to crack tonight. Havoc, harvest, faded ash. There's something, and it's not ice. It's not the illegal immigrants. It has to do with farming. When you look at this and you see warrior, and how do I know that? It is strong. It is strong straight on. Has to do with birth. I kept hearing like cars, and then you hear calves burnt. Where? Where? Calves burnt in California. Baby cows, calves burnt, and I'm seeing calves. Solid. Degas. This is disgusting. Trolling. I don't feel like anything would actually do. Has like wealth, gift, defense. Something about the defense of the gift. gifted defense, hidden game, trolling, torch, hidden torch. So I'm just remote viewing as a psychic. So I'm seeing California. I'm seeing the actual picture. I see this actual picture. It is highly blocked. It is not in the media. But boy, did they actually hone in on that. That was not good. It definitely has to do with like a spin of a wheel of luck to power. When you hear joy and at night, it's at night. So let's go on about these like baby cows, like cows born early. To burning. Highly, highly disturbing. I want it like it's like Molotov. It's Molotov, but it's not a Molotov. Molotov is different. It's different chemical. It's soapy. It's like soap suds, soap suds enemas. It's like nasty. Really, really nasty. It's causing havoc. You can't even believe it. Can't even believe it on how it was. It really does. It reminds me of Germany out on the military bases where they give it to women. And when they give it to women, they have to actually give them an enema to help them induce labor because they really are so over past gestation that they have issues with constipation, that they have to have a bowel movement. It's not what you wanted, but there's something about just straight out instinct. They don't see it. They just do it because it's part of them. Now, when I look at this and I say, when you go and you're looking around and you go, yeah, there it is. There it is. And when I see it, there's something about like a pickup. You can't even do. You can't even do. Let's see what else. Like I had to take a pause on that one. Oh my gosh. You can't even. Let's go to the Starseed Oracle. What else? We gotta draw out. This one is really hard. Let's actually like tap the card. There's like a ringing of the ears and you hear it. There's definitely like ear infections, like energy through the ears, energy around the back, blocking to where you say serious, and like you can all of a sudden hear music. And then when you see it and you say devotion, potency, making your life a moving prayer, all of a sudden they run around town causing havoc. And then when you see it, creative accountability, it's odd. It's odd how they show up to work. When you see it and you say, learning to be human and not in a world of it, definitely with some of these individuals. When you see spontaneous awakening and activation, integration time, let's see it. So basically all you need to know, it came right through. When they had the state penitentiaries, the reform schools, and the state hospitals, something actually had transpired. And when you see it, it's like a folded paper, like one of the football holes, like you make in high school, and you play football. And when you do it, like you play it like a game, it goes back and forth. And then when it actually happened, you couldn't even see it, how it played out, how people actually did those things, and it actually became a crime. So when you see it and you say you're part of a team of souls and call in support, a lot of these people from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s that went through these incidences, that went there, they literally are, you have to actually like get out and like knock on the door for some people and say, all done, you're all done. Because isolation, physical connection, community, there's something about like cracking open down to alchemy where people are like, I can't even believe that's a cold. I can't even believe that's a cold. You couldn't even see it coming. There was a lot of people, like we had the denial forums on the news. There's something else. I see grass, I see coins, I see candles, I see the games, like high school games, and I also see the cow. And then I see how the grass is due. And the cow eats the grass. And then there's something wrong with the cow. And then you say, how are the cows relenting? You can't even believe it. So that is where it comes through. As it is, when you feel that energy, it really comes in through cantankerous, animated ways. When you see Horus energy, loyalty, safety, and trust, you can't even believe it. You can't even believe it. Just wait. Things are not over yet. They're not over. Last card out of this deck. Turn your gaze within inner authority, intuition, high intuition, high intuition. Just do your intuition. When you actually start going against it during the next week, there's something odd. Something odd. So let's look into your crystal quartz. See what else. Basically, it's like you're trying to get something gone and over, and you're trying to push through, and you're trying to do everything legally and lawfully. No matter how hard it is, somebody is going to slip and slink right through, and you just have to keep watching the news, follow your intuition, follow what's in front of you, and it will be right there all of a sudden. And that's all you need to know. So, with that being said, any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share, an email. It's greatly appreciated. A subscribe, and we will talk to you soon.